Want to be successful with your food business? Wondering what is success in a food business? What should you be aiming for? How is it that you operate your business and set up goals and objectives for your food business that are meaningful and can be benchmarked against other external verifiable sources? And today I'm excited to share that our food industry ratio report is finished and it's going to be available. In this quick video today, I'm going to share with you 5 ratios to help you think about your food business. We're going to talk about gross margin of food manufacturers. We're going to talk about operating margins. We're going to talk about return on equity, and then also days, as far as days collections for food manufacturing firms, and then percentage of advertising. So important. So I'm excited to share these numbers with you, and we're going to get right into sharing that with you. Gross margin percent. And so the gross margin percent is a ratio that allows us to think about how we manufacture the product. So how effectively and efficiently we're manufacturing the product. So these ratios we're going to use today that I'm sharing with you is that we track down food manufacturing firms that are publicly traded, and then we were able to obtain the numbers and ratios from them. So how is this helpful for you as a food operator, food manufacturing facility, a smaller food company that's not publicly traded? Yes, publicly traded firms often, because of the scale of their businesses, can be more efficient and effective in these numbers. But this is going to give you an idea of what to shoot for. These are realistic benchmarks and targets for your food business. And so when you think about the cost of goods, this is what the cost, when you think about the gross margin, this is thinking about how effectively you're manufacturing those goods. So this is everything to do with the manufacturing process. I can send you, if you'd like, I can get you a copy of the report. But this margin number is going to allow you to think about how well you're operating the business as far as manufacturing and any of those expenses associated with them. The next ratio we're going to talk about is the operating margin. And so this is the overall margin that we have for the business as far as how efficiently and effectively you're running the business. So this includes everything except taxes, and then any percentage points on any of the money that you have. So any interest payments that you have, or any on loans for the business. We're going to call that the ROE, return on equity, ROE. And then the days, so the days outstanding, and so that is days outstanding, and that's just going to be a simple number. So we're going to know we've been able to obtain the days, the numbers through going through these reports from the different publicly traded company, and we were able to obtain how quickly they get paid on average. Also, I have the information. I've got actual bar graphs of this, and then I have a table as well if you want to see it individually. And so I'm going to go through that, and we'll share that information. And then also, this is the consumer goods business, and so we want to understand what are consumer goods these manufacturers, particularly in the food space. What are they doing as far as advertising and marketing consumers? And I have this as a percentage of sales. And then also, just for fun, I went ahead and I saw the numbers were there. So I have the actual dollars that they're spending. And so I've got the ratio and the dollars. It's so important. We need to communicate with consumers. It's very valuable. It's very important. It's not just important. It's a part of the lifeblood of our business in building a consumer goods product. And again, what we're talking about today, this is providing you some benchmarks to think about your food marketing business. This is what I do. One of the key elements I do with my clients is we benchmark, and it's so important for the food business. And so we're going to get into that. And what I'm going to share with you, the companies that we reviewed. So we've got the Coca-Cola Company, Pepsico, Mondelez, General Mills, Kraft Heinz Company, Kellogg Company, Conagra, Campbell Soup, Hershey's Company, Tyson Foods, Hormel Foods, McCormick, J.M. Smucker, Bunzl, Daniels Midland, Weston, Flour Foods, Hain Celestial Group, Treehouse Foods, Unilever, and Proctor Gamble. Proctor Gamble is they're not specifically a food business, but they are consumer product goods, and I thought it was excellent to bring them into the mix, to think about them from an advertising and operations side. They're such a large, successful company. So I was able to bring, I've got the gross margin. So it runs anywhere from 60% down to just under 10% as far as gross margin. We've got an average, though, to give you. And then also operating as well. So operating profit, I have that. I've got a chart here for the days sales outstanding, DSO. And that's an interesting report when you're thinking about how you're getting paid from your distributors and any retailers you're selling direct. This is an excellent chart to understand and know that these publicly traded companies are obviously likely have a lot more bargaining power and negotiating energy with many of the same customers that you're working with. And so it's important to look at their numbers and think about how they're doing, and you want to do everything you can to be as diligent in this process. I know you're spending a lot of time in this area, but you'll be able to see the numbers they're doing, and you want to aim for and shoot for numbers that are closer to their numbers. Return on equity, I've got that, and then the advertising promotion. This is really important. A lot of people don't understand this. They think, oh, wow, Coca-Cola or Procter Gamble, they're doing billions in advertising. But let's look at it as a percentage of sales and then think about your business, your company. Are you investing a similar percentage or even close to what they're doing as far as percentage of sales? And it's so important for the future health of your business, your brand, as far as value, the equity value, the valuation of your food enterprise. And so we're just going to let's just go ahead and get into some of those numbers. So when I look at the companies that we looked at as far as the gross profit margin, for food manufacturers publicly traded, we arrived at a number of 37.5% as far as the gross profit margin, 37.5%. As far as operating profit margin, 12.5%. Return on equity is 13.4%. What's so important about this? This is so important. It shows you how effective you are with the money that's been invested in your company. Also, this number is key as far as raising money and getting loans for your business in the future. So you want to keep an eye on this. You need to measure and keep up with these numbers. If you're not doing it, you need to go ahead and start doing it today. Also, I would advise think about these numbers as benchmarks. Where are you in comparison to these numbers from publicly traded? And you want to be aiming for an productive improvement in your ratios of your business as it relates to these benchmarks. And so the one that, the days outstanding, you might have that from your accountant, but this is a number you want to be thinking about. Publicly traded companies in food manufacturing, they're at 40 days. So their days outstanding on average of the companies we looked at are 40 days. And so that's definitely not 30 days. And so that tells you that you've got companies that are much farther out from 40, and then some are a little less than 40. But 40 days is the average, which is kind of surprising. I was wondering how close to 30 days these publicly traded companies were, but it was interesting to see they were at 40 days. Advertising and promotion. Again, you're a consumer product company. You're competing with thousands upon thousands of other food manufacturers and brands that are seeking your dollars. And on average, the numbers, generally they go between 5 and 12%. The number that we're looking at here for advertising is as far as a percent of revenue. So percent of revenue is 6.6%. So we're right at 7%. And so my question, are you investing 7% of your sales into your advertising and promotion budget? And so if you've not even done those figures and not even thought about them in that format, begin tracking that, looking at that. And then as far as an average annual advertising spend for publicly traded companies in the food manufacturing space, it's a little over $2 billion. I just thought it was interesting to look at that number. The Procter Gamble was one of the top, along with Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's putting $6 billion into it, along with some other businesses. So that's the results of the food industry ratio report. If you'd like a copy, jump on my, if you add your email to our newsletter list, you'll get a copy of this. So jump on my website at foodindustry.com, add the best email, and then we will send you a copy of our food industry ratios report, which we're excited to have that out, and hope this is of some value. Leave your questions or comments below if you've kept up with any of these numbers, and if this is something that's beneficial, helpful for you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. I appreciate you watching.